And welcome to Popcorn Chicken, the podcast that is currently in a bunker preparing for the end of the world. Joining me, as most of the time, another one-on-one. We did a one-on-one for Space Chicken with Mike, and now we're going to do a one-on-one for 10 Cloverfield Lane, which came out,
Ah,
which came out last year. It had the word Cloverfield in it, and I was still not interested initially. But we are going to talk about, oh my god, he was eaten by the alien. He's back. He disappeared. Scott,
okay.
literally, for those of you not watching it on YouTube but listening on the podcast stream, he vanished from his screen, but he's returned successfully. And we're gonna talk about, like I said, 10 Cloverfield Lane, which the most notable name in that one was John Goodman, or
hmm
Sully from Monsters Inc., as he's probably known for people who aren't old enough to have watched Roseanne. Um, I enjoyed this movie, but you literally just finished watching it.
Literally.
Like we're recording, like as you watch, as the end credits were rolling, we set up. So
Yeah.
I want to get just really quick your overall take on the movie and the direction the whole thing went.
Um, I enjoyed it. I liked it more than if this is a sequel. I don't know if this is technically a sequel to Cloverfield or if it's like a same time happening as the original one or whatever that is. It has the same name. Uh, but I enjoyed it a lot more than that one. I kind of like the ending. We should say
Oh,
spoilers.
oh yeah.
Spoilers.
As always on Popcorn Chicken. Spoiler alert for the movie we're talking about, and other movies the actors have been in. Also, possibly other movies that those
So,
directors have directed or producers have produced. Okay, so you
Blues,
have to do the
Blues,
7 degrees of Kevin Bacon with every movie we watch. All right,
Blues
go
Brothers
ahead.
2000. Got to keep that in mind. Okay.
Strong
John Goodman.
possibility we may
Strong
spoil Blues
possibility.
Brothers 2000 tonight.
Um, no. So I liked how the movie went in phases, right? I enjoyed that aspect of it, very roller coaster ride, right? You kind of knew there was gonna be like this play with it, like it's not really what it seems. Wait, it is really what it seems. Uh, but it was pretty cool. The ending really shocked me. I'll put that. I did not see it coming.
Was it the part that in the end it was actually an alien invasion, or the fact that all of a sudden this girl who possesses no type of skills at all was able to defeat an alien ship all by herself? Like she turned into Ripley at the end there a little bit, sans flamethrower.
I
Like
feel
was
like
that the part that was like, oh wow, what a twist! It turns out she was GI Jane the whole time.
I feel like not everybody can just say, "Hey, I'll make a Molotov cocktail," right? Like, hey, you know what? I have paper and I have a bottle of liquor. I can easily destroy something with this. Most people would be in shock and just get eaten by the
Yeah,
by,
but
by an
by
alien.
the alien anus mouth. Just
Which I didn't know what was happening with that. That was interesting. What was on the ground? I must have skipped over that part or something. What was
so
on
so
the?
so, so there's like a dog alien at the okay. So real quick as we reverse navigate our way through
Oh
this,
God,
right at
reverse
the
engineer.
ending, right at the ending, they come out of the bunker. So if you look to the right of me, I have the movie poster. There was a 3 movie posters, right? And the first movie poster, the one to my top left, is one that I've never seen before,
No, I
right?
never saw.
But the one to the right is the one I saw the most. So the 10 Cloverfield Lane poster is a poster of a house, very small, on the ground, and then the L from Lane makes like a tunnel very much into the earth, signifying, hey, this happens underground. And then the other 10 Cloverfield Lane poster, not depicted on the screen, is the one that's just a mailbox with the address 10 Cloverfield Lane. Now, the third poster I didn't see until I was pulling the graphics for the YouTube is the one of her running in the cornfield with the alien ship
I
over
know.
her, which I feel like is a terrible movie poster because it's like very anti Hitchcock and the Bird. So
Yeah,
spoiler
because you're
alert for the
waiting
bird.
for it.
No, not the birds. The hotel one, the Hitchcock movie with the hotel. He used to have a
Oh, Psycho.
Psycho. He had a thing where he was like, if you he had a policy if you came into the movie 10 minutes late, you weren't allowed to watch the movie. You had to wait because the twist ending was like the most important part of it. So I feel like having a movie poster with an alien spaceship over a cornfield chasing the protagonist in the poster is like, hey, here's what happens in a poster,
Well,
which is probably why it wasn't shown, why this poster was not popular in the ad campaign for this movie.
well, it's two things, right? A, you're gonna wait the whole movie to see an alien. B, she gets out of the bunker.
Yes.
Because if you don't see her run through the cornfield, you're gonna be like, well, I know she gets out of the bunker,
Exactly.
so whatever.
So
whatever happens.
it's a huge spoiler. So the movie takes place in there may or may not have been an apocalyptic event that wiped out the earth. The girl whose name escapes me gets saved by John Goodman, who probably ran her off the road either on purpose or by accident. Something we need to talk about, right? And then they stay underground, but it turns out John Goodman's a fucking cuckoo bananas man, and their neighbor is in there too. Is a cuckoo bananas man, and she has to escape. And she no longer thinks that there's a real. There was a time when she thought that it was all fake, and she was kidnapped. Then it turns out it was real. People's faces are melting, but then it turns out it's like she'd rather take her chances with a face melting sauce than crazy Sully for monsters. So it went, like he was saying earlier, like this roller coaster of back and forth of uncomfortable, comfortable, passage of time. And then at the end you find out it's alien. So the part that you were asking about was there was like an alien dog hunter thing that was on the ground. So initially when she gets out from the bunker and she's in the cornfield and she sees the birds, she realizes she can breathe. So So again, we got back up a little. And by the way, this is the premise of this podcast. By the way, is that you guys watch the movie too, and then come. So I don't want to be too explainy about some of the details of the movie because the assumption is you watched it already. But needs to say she's in a shower curtain hazmat suit, duct taped up to I'm gonna say a Pepsi fucking gas mask apparatus, right? And she decides to break the seal of the gas mask because she realizes she can breathe. And she thinks, hey, maybe the world's not so bad. Oh, coincidence, alien spaceship there, alien hunter dog thing. She has like a little battle with the hunter dog thing where, again, she fucking outsmarts it and maneuvers it because I guess she was doing a lot of cardio while she was in the bunker. They probably cut that out of the time passage montage. And then the spaceship. And it's really funny because there's that Disney movie coming out, Monster Truck, where like there's this monster in a truck.
Oh yeah,
and he's like making it. The spaceship apparently is the same thing. Apparently the spaceship is just an alien. Like the whole spaceship was an alien, and there's like a spaceship tentacles coming out of it.
I know, that's weird.
Yeah, and then she threw the Molotov cocktail in its mouth, and then she joined the Resistance Army in Texas.
Houston, yes. So, we'll go from the beginning. We'll rewind. We did the same thing with Warcraft. Let's go back to the beginning.
All
right. Okay. And let's attack this from what was going through my brain. Okay. Do you remember that movie with one of the not Luke Owen? I forget who it was. Where they're in the hotel, and God, I can't remember the name. What's up?
The Budapest Hotel.
I can't remember the name of it.
Hotel Rwanda.
No. That is
You, Me, and Dupree.
No. So that movie premise is they're driving along. Something happens to their car. They pull to a gas station. The guy says, "Oh, I'll take a look at it." And he goes, "Fix it up." And he did something to it so they'd break down like 10 miles down the road. And then somebody comes along to help them out. Oh, there's a hotel right up here. And it turns out that they find old videos of people being killed in the same hotel room. And it was a big setup to basically kill them. I can't remember the name of that one. Anyway, it's kind of the vibe, like the mindset you have going into these movies. Like she's driving on the road, nothing's happening. She keeps looking at her phone. You know something's going to happen to her. And then she gets hit, and you like automatically think that was on purpose. They gave the foreshadowing event of the person at the gas station. It seemed like he was following her, and he hits her, and then she wakes up chained, and it's just like, okay, this is like Saw or something like that. This was definitely done on purpose, but they kind of humanize him, through in the actual shelter, and you start thinking, well, maybe this guy is telling the truth. He seems like he just was in a rush. So I don't know.
They did something very interesting in the beginning, is that the first 10 or so minutes of the movie, nothing is happening.
Yeah, it's very boring.
And I'm actually not even 100% sure there was sound in it. Like there was music, but there was no dialogue. So she's having like a text fight with her fiance, And and then it's like end of and then she has to have that end of the world. My fiance is no more thing. When they're buried 10 feet underground, and it does lead a lot to like the motivations of John Goodman. So, like they did humanize John Goodman in his movie, his character like towards the middle where you kind of start to feel comfortable again, and then they throw another twist on you to realize that the actions that humanized him were weird. Actually ended up revealing how actually crazy he was. So he had like some type of weird anger issue, right? He had like he was paranoid. He was 100% paranoid. So his neighbor is in the bunker with them. So there's 3 people in this bunker. His neighbor's one of them. And the only reason his neighbor even knew about the bunker was because he helped him build it. And John Goodman didn't want to let him in when the shit went down. And he only got in by fighting John Goodman, and then John Goodman broke his arm in the fight, right? And it was like, fuck it, you're inside now. But that's because he rationed things out to essentially live alone, which is weird because he had board games. So was it like he was going to watch play the board games by himself? Because in like his little rec area, he had like board games and movies. Like the movies made sense to watch, but and then he had his little like pistol, and they had that whole power struggle thing. But she does wake up. She's woken up chained, right? But he's so kind of crazy that he talks about like the world ending matter of factly, like, hey, there's no world up there, and it's like I offer no explanation, just there's no world up there, and why wouldn't you believe me? There's no reason for me to prove anything to you. Like it wasn't until like the push came to shove, and like the like we're just like, fine, I'll show you the dead pigs. And then she walks him upstairs and shows us the dead pigs, and it was like, well, I mean, I feel like you could have like eased him into that, not go pee now because there's a pee schedule you have to be on because I'm a crazy guy.
The bathroom schedule.
Yeah, so that was all very very thing. So you start to think he's crazy, and then they have the pig moment, right, where they're good, but even then, even as the audience, right, you don't believe that those pigs are legit.
No.
Like, you have the neighbor guy going, yeah, no, some shit went down. But you even don't believe the neighbor guy. You're like, neighbor guy, you're crazy. So then there's the whole second scene, the spaghetti dinner, right? Where she gets the keys from John Goodman, because she's also a pickpocket. So if we could list all of the skills she has.
I know.
Right, she's also a pickpocket. She's also like she can read you, like she can read like, like he's having like mental lapses, and she's like, I can manipulate his mental lapses by pretending to want to fuck this guy, and he's gonna be like, don't fuck in my house, and I'm gonna get the keys from him. And so she does that. She goes upstairs, and that's where you see the lady with the face melted, right? And then that's like, should we call that Act 1?
Yeah, because that's when everything changes to, not so bad. He was serious. He was right about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of turns into like almost like
roll the montage of happiness and puzzle building and
Yeah. It was just all of a sudden everyone was passing time. They were watching movies together. They were all good with the pee schedule. She was in her little window bunker room. And then the other guy slept in the storage place, and the other guy slept by the only bathroom that there was.
This is my personal space.
Yes. And then, as part of the humanization of him, right, that's when he pulls out the thing, because he has a family, right? He has a daughter who's away at college, right? So, fortunately, she's not going to survive, because she was away at college during the whatever. And by the way, still at this point, it's not revealed that it's aliens. And John Goodman doesn't know that it's aliens. He just knows catastrophic event.
But his thought is that it was somebody else attacking us. That's what he thought it was.
Yes. So you have the setup for the next plot twist. So now tell me, when he shows the picture of his daughter to protagonist girl, like, where are you now? Because now we're in Act 2. Now
Michelle.
Act 2. Michelle. All right.
So yeah, it's kind of like it's one of those. It's weird, right? Like if like I these films always drive me crazy, and these kind and horror films and everything like that, because you can't help but think what you would do if you were in that situation, right? Everybody does the same thing, like, oh, if I was there, I would have done this, and like this would be creeping me out if this were me. Um, but at that moment, I mean, I feel like it kind of made him, like, you kept sitting there going, yeah, I kind of get this guy, I get what's going on, it makes sense. Before we get to like act 3 of when she goes through the air vent, right?
Right.
Right. Before we get to that, up until that point, I kept feeling like, all right, I know things are going good. Either he's going to change or something else is going to come into the picture to change it, because this is too happy. That's how I feel about the film at that point. It's like something has to happen, because otherwise they're just going to live happily ever after in this little thing here.
How fucking awesome would it have been if that's how the movie ended?
Just like boom, we're good.
Boom, we're good, and we made puzzles until the day we died.
We had spaghetti again.
There was so much spaghetti.
Oh no, they did. Oh, they were making peanut butter and fluff sandwiches or whatever the heck they were making at that point.
Oh yeah, it was just fucking full on 80s sitcom. So yeah, so you do. It's like it allows you to false sense of security, but at the same time when a movie does that, it's pretty cool, because one, it changes the pace of what's going on, but also you, as a human garbage you start yearning for conflict,
or just expecting it.
You know what I'm saying? You kind of yearn. You kind of start going, man, I need something to happen. I'd like to be happy making puzzles all the time, but that's not a spectator sport. I need something to go amiss. And then, like, for me, I don't know how you are. When I watch a movie, I take the ride, right? I take the ride. But, like, for example, when I watch a movie with the missus, she starts trying to guess what's going to happen next.
Oh,
she starts yearning for conflict to the point where she's like, what is going to happen? He's going to go crazy? He's running out of guns? He's going to have a baby? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, just take the ride. Just take the ride. And I was actually comfortable. Like, even that little lull up into the air vent scene. So he shows the picture of the daughter, and right there I'm like, oh, all right, cool. And then you get the hint between that and the game of charades that happens after the air vent incident.
Yeah.
But if John Goodman didn't sell creep to the 100th level in that game of charades, we're like, well, what am I? And he's like, a girl, a little girl, a little princess, a Girl Scout. It's like, oh, I'm so uncomfortable right now. And they did it with like that ticking clock kind of feel. And it was like, oh, what's he gonna do? He thinks that's his daughter. It's so gross. And you think that that's like the end of his psychosis.
And then he.
Right, but you already know ahead of time, because we had the air vent scene. And can I tell you how lucky it was that he found a skinny girl, huh?
I know, right? Well, the thing was like, and that's what made me think about it. I'm like, all this preparation, the food, everything that went into this. And he, like, the power switch for the vent is in a place he can't reach. So if that had happened and she wasn't there, they'd all be dead.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, John Goodman is a large man. He's a huge dude. And he the vent's like the size of my head. Yeah. And it's like, our life-saving measures are through the tunnel, through a thing, locked from the outside. This was poorly designed. You would think that'd be in the next room.
I know. Or like an access ladder. Like,
yeah, something. Not even a ladder. That listen, I like John Goodman and a lot of stuff he's done. The Red State is a good movie. We should probably do that one too. Mm-hmm. But it's like, come on, man. Like, so was it? And it goes back to your plan and preparation. Was it actually a story flaw, or just kind of a mechanic of the story to have it be a narrow tunnel that only she fixed it? Because still to this point in the movie, and even now that it's done, I still don't know if he ran her off the road on purpose,
That's true.
right?
That's true.
Because he fucking went zooming past, and what he said was, and this is another weird thing for me that I didn't get a satisfactory answer to, which I don't believe was meant to be an open mystery. Where I think whether he did it or not was probably okay to be a point of discussion, but he said he received word of an incoming attack. And that's why he was driving so fast, and that's why he ran her off the road. That's why they ended up in the thing. That's why he was able to get to the bunker in time, because he received word of an incoming attack. I don't know where the fuck he would have gotten that word from, unless it's like an app, like a paranoid crazy person app. You know,
like it's just a world invasion app.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, again, we could hypothesize about this, but I mean, if he's that kind of guy, he probably had some kind of radio or like ham radio or something like that somebody could have told him. But I'm still to this point like confused, right, about the vent scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he sends her up there. He obviously is unaware of what she finds up there. Like
Right.
he doesn't know that that's up there, because otherwise he would have cleared it up. But like, what does that mean, right? Why would somebody scrape help till they were bleeding, and then their earring was on the ground? Was it earring? Was it an earring?
It was an earring.
That was bloody on the ground. Well, where's the body? And if he found a body up there to get rid of that had died up there for some reason, he probably would have cleaned the window or picked up the earring. I mean, the guy was a clean freak, throwing everything into the furnace and everything like that. So, like, it was obviously left there to freak her out for story purposes.
No. Okay. So you missed a part then. You missed a part of the movie. It's explained.
Really?
Yeah. Who was up there? So, so first we'll back up for a second. His clean freakness was because he's still not 100% sure what the attack was. So if it was like a bacteria or something or whatever, he didn't want that spreading or something. So that was part of it. So he wasn't paranoid like clean freak, always paranoid. He was clean freak in that one of the things it could be is a skin-eating disease. So we'll go back to the original time that the picture of his daughter is shown, right?
Mm-hmm.
When she goes up there and comes back down, she talks to the neighbor guy about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sneak into his room and pull out the picture of the daughter again. And he goes, "That's not his daughter. That's a girl who went missing around here. He was storing that girl trapped up there, most likely as punishment for not wanting to be like daddy's little girl." If you look at it's a picture of a shirt, and I'm pretty sure if you go back and look at that picture, it's a picture of them in a bunker. That couch they're sitting on is a couch in the bunker.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
So he took her down into the bunk. She was a prisoner of his. So he abducted this girl, kept her as a prisoner, and then once she didn't want to fucking play nice anymore, he shoved her up into that place like as punishment. And it's his land that no one goes on, right? So she etched "help me" on the screen door and probably starved to death there. And when she starved to death, he disposed of the body, most likely in that special bucket of acid that he just happened to already have there. So
Right by the kitchen.
Right, yeah. So, I mean...
Well, I get that aspect, right? But why wouldn't he, like, clean up, right? Like, that's what's bothering me about it.
So I feel like he did clean up. He missed one earring. So, like, the earring part is the mystery of it. But he's not, like, he wasn't infallible. Like, he wasn't all-knowing. They were able to do stuff behind his back. He caught on to them eventually, right? So when they decide that, and that's the turning point, right? The turning point is the vent scene.
Mm-hmm.
They go up. They determine this guy's a crazy person. They need to leave. So now, she can read people. She can pickpocket. And then I think her actual talent was fashion designer, which might be sexist. I don't know. So she fashions this shower curtain biohazard suit there, and they sneakily made that. I mean, the movie made it feel like it was weeks, right?
Yeah.
And they made it feel so for weeks they could get away with something like that there. Like he wasn't the John Goodman character, despite being like very aggressive and somewhat knowledgeable of what was going on, he was also delusional, right? He didn't have enough observation skills to see that Michelle was an adult. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? He didn't have enough observation skills to notice he was being like manipulated into anger, manipulated into throwing the curtain away.
Mm.
You know, he just happened to find the stuff later. And I feel like that also, like, when that happened during the confrontation, when they brought the acid bucket. And by the way, he acid burned his only pair of scissors. If he was going to live down there and needed to cut something, what was he going
And
to
a box
use?
cutter, scissors and a box cutter.
Yeah, it's like, dude, now there's no more cutting devices in your bunker of doom. But like right there, so let's go role reversal, all right? I'm John Goodman. Why are you fucking with this stuff? Right? Is your instinct to go, I wanted to take your gun from you? Because that was the answer he gave, and that bothered me, right? So when the neighbor's like, oh shit, the jig is up. Like, it's like, yo, we were doing arts and crafts, bro.
No, no. Like
You know what I'm
she
saying?
colors all the time. We're cutting things out, man.
Yeah, we were just fucking around with magazines and making collages, man. We bored, bro. We bored. It's like, nope, I wanted to be the man of the house and aggress against you. I'm sorry, I'll never aggress again. And then he gets shot. And it's like, what? Well, of course you got shot. That's the lie you came up with, you fucking putz. Like, why?
Well, you know what bothers me about that too, and this is when you get into the whole "if it were me" thing. All right, you have first of all the favorite scene of the whole movie. Favorite scene is after they're talking in front of the jukebox, and he comes up and he puts the song on, and he starts dancing, and
Yeah.
he goes, "Man, problem solving really puts me in a dancing mood." I fucking see and love that scene because it was the hey, everything has changed, but you know he's still crazy him and unaware, you
Yeah.
know, and but like it's the whole thing is like you're down there alone. There's two of you and there's one of him. There's knives, there's stuff to use if you wanted to kill somebody, right? You know where he sleeps, right? But I obviously I mean they couldn't do anything, but I'm just saying like you have all these opportunities to put two people on top of him, you know? Then you can do whatever you want. Then you can take all the time you want to build a suit and go venture out into the thing. But it's like it just kind of like you're sitting there like, oh, all right. All right, and then the poor excuse was the other thing too. It was like arts and crafts. That's literally what I thought was she's spending all this time drawing. Just say you're cutting shit out of the magazine. I don't understand.
Yeah, yeah, it was so weird. But them kind of treating him like their overseer though, that's not so weird because I can understand the psychology behind that, right? I mean, he's established himself. He was the aggressor the whole time. They essentially when they had that moment where they were like, oh shit, there is evilness outside melting people's faces. We do need to stay in here and be protected by you. They've in a very both like real and psychological way conceded the upper hand to him. Like they created his authority, right? The gun created his authority initially, but everything else his authority was conceded. Like they gave it to him. That even at the end they were like, "Oh, this guy's crazy. We better like, you know, do other stuff." So that was very. I can see like where you can justify that as you tell the story. To go, oh, they were now psychologically damaged from being locked in there with him. That they did think that he was the ruler of the
I
underground
was
kingdom.
I felt too like after he shot him, I was like, I mean, I got what she was doing, you know, hiding stuff and you know, coming up with her own plan and stuff like that. If we get to the scene where she gets, you know, the whole where he looks up in the vent and he's like, "What's up here?" You know, and she runs away and all that stuff happens. And the one thing that bothered me was he has this vat of I forget what the
Acid.
chemical was. And we'll say acid, right? I forget what the exact chemical was. He said it was. And it instantly dissolves humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what he said, biological stuff, right? So she kicks this barrel over, right? And for some reason, it's enough to make him slip and fall into it face first. And I'm thinking, how did he not melt more?
Yeah, yeah. So I
And
don't
like only half his face. I'm like the splashing alone. and he would have to walk out of it, right? So he would have to stand. He would have to push with his hands, which would dissolve. Stand up, which his feet would be dissolving at that point, right? Turn around, walk the other way, and then find her. And like it was only like he was Two-Face. And I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. So I mean, in real life, acid doesn't work that fast. So I mean, they had that on their side, but I feel like if you had an acid burn, like a fresh acid burn on your face, well, because that wasn't even a touch. Like they were doing the hard. So okay, this is where the movie takes a third turn, right?
Right. So this is
So
like, yeah.
it starts off as a mystery, then it starts off as a happiness thing, right? Then it turns into a hostage situation, and now it just turned into a horror movie, right? So this is the fourth iteration of the movie now, where it's like all of a sudden it's a fucking horror movie, where John Goodman's doing his best impersonation of Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, you think he's dead, but he keeps getting back up. How is he doing? Yeah. So, but I don't know if that was the directorial choice to not have him be like very disfigured, so you would look away. You know, just disfigured enough so you can go, oh, he's disfigured. But yeah, I was like you, the same thing. Instead of it being like, oh, I can watch longer, I was taken out of it a little bit. I'm like, I feel like he should be. And I didn't even think about the hands things, but you're right. His hands should be wrecked. His hands should be. He was wearing shoes, so his feet wouldn't be wrecked, right? But I thought like his eye, like he shouldn't have an eye. Like your eye has no protection against acid. Like he should be blind in that eye. But yeah, but then he pops his head up in the vault, and now he's stabbing through the thing as she's crawling through the vent. And then it's totally a horror movie now.
Well, and it's funny was I was like, and knocking a shelf over him, that was the trick.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
Take these canned beans. No.
Yeah, and then he doesn't come back out. He's just like,
That's it. The acid's one thing, but dumping a shelf on me, that's too much.
Dude, those shelves are fucking heavy. that's some weighty stuff. But that leads us to the fifth identity that this movie had, which was an action adventure movie of one person's trapped on a farm with aliens, and again, all these weird things that the movie did when it went through all of these iterations, kind of made it fun. Like it kind of kept it engaging. It didn't feel. I feel like it's. I don't want to make the argument that the movie was disjointed. It wasn't, but it was also many things in a row.
I will say that you could probably take that movie to someone who's never seen it and start it like when she just got out of the bunker, and that in itself would be enough.
Yeah,
because you wouldn't need any pre-starts. Like you could start that right when he shoots the other guy, or whenever. Like each time the act starts, you could start it right there, and it'd be a different movie. I mean, in a good way, like in the way that the roller coaster brings you on, right? So like you could start it when they're all happy. And it's like, oh, they're in a bunker together, they're all happy, you know, or this, and. But yeah, especially the end when she gets out, I'm like, this is literally a different movie at this point. Like it's just like this. I mean, if they made a sequel to this, you know, that would be kind of cool because it would show like how far she's come.
11 Cloverfield Lane.
But like that too. You get out and you see a plane. You're like, well, let me get in a big moving vehicle so I'm an obvious target instead of like hiding.
Did you watch Live, Die, Repeat?
Yes, I did.
Tomorrow? Okay, yeah. So that's the sequel to this. She grows up to be that lady. Like that's what it is. She goes and she joins the resistance, and then she turns into the lady from that movie.
Killer Bunny. What the heck was her name?
I don't know. The something bitch.
Something bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like you turn into it. She punches you in her metal suit. Like that. Like that's what happens. She turns into that. I don't know if I would watch 11 Cloverfield Lane. And so. Two things, because I do want to get back to what I thought was the biggest mystery of the movie. That I don't. Well, not the biggest. The biggest mystery is how the fuck he knew the aliens were coming. So the name of it was Cloverfield, right? Then Cloverfield Lane. It was directed by J.J. Abrams, right? I was still like, I wonder if it's aliens. You know what I'm saying? even though it had the same name. I'm like, would he really do that? Would he do something that cheesy? I never
Wait, this
watched
wasn't
Cloverfield, by
J.J.
the way.
Abrams?
Yeah, it was.
10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yeah.
It was directed by Dan Trachtenberg.
Was J.J. Abrams the producer?
I will let you know in a second.
Because I'm looking
The
at the
ori-
movie. I'm looking at the movie poster, and his name is top billing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't. IMDb, it says director, whatever his name is. Well, maybe you're right. I don't know. Shit.
Well, it could have been produced by. I mean,
That probably was. Wait, did he do who did the first one? Was Cloverfield done by somebody else? Let me see real quick. But you know what's funny is I remember watching. I was almost not willing to watch this after what. Do you remember the original Cloverfield?
no, I never watched Cloverfield.
You never did?
No.
It was very it was
Shaky cam, I hear.
yeah. Yeah, and it was a lot of like weird stuff. I mean, you saw the creatures, like the dog creature thing. There were kind of those things in there, if I remember correctly, because this was a long time ago. And is that constant like it's like if you covered your eyes and you couldn't see everything and it was just annoying you, like get a damn wide angle lens is what you kept thinking the whole film, because everything was so narrow and you're like, man, if you had like a 10 millimeter lens, I could see whatever the fuck's going on right now and we could be fine. Like a GoPro would be really good right now, or like a 360 camera. But that's all I felt the entire time was just like, my God, it's very interesting. There's like, but I don't want to spoil this, but do you want to watch it or do you want me to spoil
No,
it?
no, I'm never gonna watch that fucking movie.
But it was like a Godzilla kind of creature,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right? So you're like, oh, it's like fucking Godzilla. So it's like a cool, like, Origins Godzilla, like something like that, right? You're like, oh, it's gonna be Godzilla, and it wasn't. It was all this other crap, and you're like, oh. But then the ending was shit, and then it was just annoying. But the whole idea of the camera, shaky camera thing, and everything. So when this came out, I was like, oh, I'm not interested. But then, right, I watched the preview after you said we should watch this movie, and I was like, oh, well, it looks like Blair Witch Project 2. First Blair Witch was not the actual movie. I'm saying first Blair Witch was handheld camera. Second Blair Witch was regular cameras. Was it not?
Never
And
saw
the
either of
third-
those movies.
Okay, you never saw the original Blair Witch?
No, I saw like bits and pieces of it. I actually saw a movie about the movie, The Blair Witch Project.
Okay, well, the first Blair Witch was like handheld camera.
Right.
It was well done, and then the second one, I didn't see it, but I heard it was horrible from multiple people. But it was like shot like this movie was, like with like a camera crew, right, type thing. And then they did another one, I think, like the original. I don't know, but that's kind of what this was. The first Cloverfield was very handheld, made you throw up. This one was very steady, nice kind of directing kind of thing. So, kind of.
So, did he take her on purpose?
I feel like yeah. I feel like yeah.
You feel like you saw her? Okay.
Well,
so
where was the
so
damage on the car, on the truck?
she sideswiped.
Right.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Because here's the other one. Because I do believe he took her on purpose, right? By the way, her being skinny, by the way, the second time that was important was, so that she could fit into one shower curtain for a thing. Like that, like to me, the biggest plot convenience was was that she didn't get big eating spaghetti in a basement.
Well,
For
she was skinny but had an extremely good throwing arm.
oh yeah, totally, but literally, so was he right? Was he gonna take her anyway? And then some aliens attacked?
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Right? Because I'm thinking that he was going to take her anyway because he already was taking girls. He was
Huh.
already taking girls, and the first girl he took, because they finished the bunker recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bunker was done fairly recently. The first girl he took was a local girl, right? But you can't do that twice. Now, paranoid
No.
guy can't do that twice because they're gonna get on to you. They're gonna catch on to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was he taking her anyway, or did he get word? Because again, like you said in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
in the convenience store, there's like that awkward energy where they don't show John Goodman's head, but they show his body pass by, and
Mm-hmm.
she feels uncomfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like that instinct of this guy's going to abduct me or eat me because he's John Goodman. Um, so, but then was it like, oh, he got word that it was game on time, and then on the way home said, "I'll sideswipe you," or yeah, no, yeah, it was like I need a tunnel rat, and then grabbed her up to be a tunnel rat daughter figure.
Huh. That's a good point. I don't know. I think if it was going to go that way, that he did it on purpose, I agree that it was probably like out of convenience, like you said. Like maybe he panicked. Psychologically, we're speaking now, right? So he like feels the necessity to have that. Saw her, like you said, got the news, was like, crap, I need that. Let's get it. Boom. And then takes her. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's the best part. That's one of the best parts about the film is it leaves it open, so you're kind of just like, oh, I just don't know. So that was interesting.
All right. Well, that was 10 Cloverfield Lane. If you guys, if you
Oh wait,
watch, oh, go ahead.
before we finish,
Yeah.
foreshadowing at the end. Okay, real quick.
Okay.
Here's the stupid news report. First of all, did you think someone was in the backseat of that car the entire time she was driving?
Right.
Because she kept looking back like someone was gonna pop up. I felt like it.
I wouldn't have been surprised because then it would turn back into a horror movie.
So then she backs up. You know, on the sign is going to be whatever they're talking about on the radio, right?
Right.
So she sees Houston and she sees Baton Rouge. And they say Baton Rouge is safe. Houston, the fight goes on. I don't know where this is in the country that those two signs exist. But on some back road in the middle of nowhere, they have Houston and Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, right.
But she decides to go to Houston because for some reason she realizes her potential of killing spaceships with a bottle of liquor. And as she's driving, which I don't know how much gas that car has in it, but she apparently assumes that she can make it to Houston. During the clouds up above, you see the lightning and you see the big spaceship.
Right.
Like what? Like if you're in that situation, what do you do?
Oh, listen, I'm John Jersey action, man.
You are.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're-
I just found out I'm Ripley.
You
Do you understand? Do you understand that she just found out she's Ripley?
heard that report of we need somebody who has medical knowledge or combat experience. And you're like, well, I blew up a spaceship, so that's one notch on my belt.
How many people in Houston have blown up spaceships? Because she's literally one of them.
Can you think about it though? She gets somebody like, listen, I blew up a spaceship. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. Anyway, come over here and help this guy clot this thing over.
She walks over there. They're like, listen, we've got this thing in an air vent. We need you to crawl through the air vents.
We got some shower curtains just in case. Okay.
Shower curtains. Our alien defeating mechanism. We put in a room on the other side of these air vents. None of us fit.
Quick,
We've
take
been
this
doing
Pepsi
shoulders, so we're really broad right now. I don't fit.
Take this Pepsi bottle when you go, just in case.
Oh man, we just turned it around and shit all over the movie.
Yeah.
All right, so theories on it. If you're listening via Podcast directories, hit me up at @NRAG_Danny. And if you're on the YouTubes, please hit us up in the comments below. I would, by the way, like to thank last week's YouTube commenter of the week, Jono 98806, for helping us clarify some stuff on the Warcraft lore that we were a little shady on because it's been a while since we played. Other than that, this has been a Popcorn Chicken, 10 Cloverfield Lane. I don't know what we're going to do next. Maybe Ex Machina. Who knows? All right. Popcorn Chicken out.